The baseball was heading straight into the stands. Shohei Ohtani had absolutely crushed it. Crack! The ball launched toward the right field seats, and the entire stadium rose to its feet. The outfielder turned. He knew immediately there was no chance of catching it. Ohtani dropped the bat and started toward first base. The crowd was already celebrating, but then something completely unexpected happened. A fan reached over the railing and caught the ball. The stadium exploded. The fan held the baseball above his head. People around him were screaming. Ohtani was rounding first base, but then the umpire suddenly stopped the play. Time. The Dodgers dugout began pointing toward the stands. The opposing players looked confused. Ohtani stopped near second base, and suddenly, everyone had the same question. Did the fan interfere with the home run? Because if he had, the entire play could change. The game had been extremely close. Neither team could create much separation, and every big hit was becoming more important. When Ohtani walked toward the batter's box, the stadium immediately became louder. The pitcher looked toward the catcher. The sign came in. He nodded. Ohtani settled into his stance. First pitch, fastball outside. Ball 1. Second pitch, breaking ball. Ohtani watched it carefully. Strike 1. The pitcher came back with another fastball. Ohtani fouled it away. Strike 2. The crowd reacted. The pitcher now had Ohtani in a dangerous count. One more strike. One more mistake. The catcher gave the sign. The pitcher nodded. He started his delivery. Fastball. Ohtani tracked it. His front foot landed. His hands fired. Crack! The baseball exploded off his bat. The sound echoed throughout the stadium. The ball launched toward deep right field. The outfielder turned immediately. The crowd rose. Ohtani dropped the bat. He knew he had crushed it. The baseball kept carrying. Higher, farther, deeper. The outfielder reached the warning track, then stopped. The ball was heading directly into the seats. Fans started reaching upward. Gloves appeared. Hands reached over the railing, and then one fan stretched as far as possible. Snatch! He caught it. The entire stadium went crazy. The fan jumped up and held the baseball above his head. People around him were screaming. His friends were celebrating. The giant screen showed the fan holding the ball, but Ohtani wasn't celebrating yet. He was standing near second base, waiting. The umpire had stopped the play. The Dodgers dugout was furious. The manager came out of the dugout. The opposing team was arguing the opposite side. The fan still had the baseball in his hand, and suddenly, the question became much bigger than the home run itself. Did the fan reach into the field of play? If he had, the umpires could potentially rule interference. If he hadn't, the home run could stand. The umpire crew gathered together. The stadium became deafening. The giant screen switched to replay. The first angle showed Ohtani's swing, then the baseball traveling toward the seats, then the fan reaching for it. But the camera angle wasn't clear. Crowd started booing. Another replay appeared. This one was closer. The ball was visible. The fan's hand was visible. The wall was visible. But the exact moment of contact was still difficult to see. The Dodgers manager pointed toward the screen. The opposing manager shook his head. Ohtani stood quietly near second base. The fan was still holding the baseball. Then the replay department showed another angle. The entire stadium went silent means. The baseball was approaching the wall. The fan reached upward, and then freeze frame. Everyone stared at the screen. The umpire walked toward the field. He had seen enough. He raised his hand. The crowd waited for the decision, and whatever he decided, it would determine whether Ohtani's massive home run would count. The entire stadium went silent as the umpire stepped toward the field. Ohtani was standing near second base, waiting for the decision. The fan was still holding the baseball, while both dugouts watched the replay screen. Everyone knew that one decision could completely change the moment. The umpire looked toward the replay booth one final time. Then he turned toward the field and raised his hand. Home run. The stadium exploded. Ohtani immediately started toward home plate as the runners advanced around the bases. The Dodgers dugout erupted, and the fan who had caught the baseball suddenly became one of the biggest parts of the celebration. The giant screen showed the replay again. Ohtani's swing had sent the ball deep into the seats, and the fan had made an incredible catch without reaching into the field of play. Ruling was clear. The home run counted. Ohtani reached home plate, and his teammates surrounded him. The crowd continued roaring as the fan held up the baseball, now realizing that he had just caught an Ohtani home run ball in one of the most dramatic ways imaginable. The commentators couldn't stop talking about the sequence. It had started with a massive swing, turned into an incredible fan catch, and then became a replay controversy before finally ending with the home run being confirmed. The opposing team wasn't happy with the decision, but there was nothing they could do. The replay had settled the question. The Dodgers had the run, Ohtani had the home run, and the fan had the baseball. The game continued, but the atmosphere had completely changed. Every time the fan appeared on the giant screen, the crowd cheered again. He was holding the ball that had created one of the strangest home run moments of the night. The opposing team tried to respond immediately. Their first hitter stepped into the box and attacked the opening pitch. A hard ground ball went toward shortstop, but the defender made a clean play. Out the next batter came up and hit a fly ball towards center field. The outfielder moved underneath it and made the catch. 2 outs. The final hitter stepped into the box. The pitcher delivered a breaking ball. Swing and miss. Another pitch came. Foul ball. The crowd started chanting again. The pitcher came set. Fastball. The hitter swung. Strike 3. The inning was over. The Dodgers had protected their advantage, but the biggest story remained the fan who had caught Ohtani's home run. The replay continued playing on the stadium screen. Fans watched the baseball travel toward the seats, the fan reaching for it, and the incredible catch. It wasn't just a home run. It was a home run that became a stadium-wide mystery. For a few moments, nobody knew whether Ohtani would receive credit. Then replay settled everything. Home run. The fan kept the ball. Ohtani kept the home run, and the Dodgers kept the lead. That's what made the moment so memorable. One swing, one fan, one unbelievable catch, one replay, and one massive Ohtani home run. Sometimes baseball gives you a highlight, sometimes it gives you a controversy, and sometimes it gives you both at the same time. If you enjoyed this unforgettable Shohei Ohtani story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for dynamic baseball. We bring you dramatic Ohtani stories, unbelievable home runs, unexpected fan moments, and unforgettable baseball content. Would you keep the baseball if you caught Ohtani's home run? Tell us in the comments.